Good Sunday evening, Facebook and YouTube. How you doing? I am Kendrick, the sports guy, and this is the wrap up, the reaction to the last game of the day that we had, the NFC Championship game that went down in Seattle. Number one seeded Seahawks hosting the number 5 seeded Rams, NFC division rival. Their third meeting of the season, and boy, this was a whole lot more entertaining than the AFC Championship game. No shade at the Patriots or the Broncos, but this game had a lot more action. We saw some action in this one. We're gonna talk about. I'm gonna give you my thoughts and my reaction to this, and now we know who will be the two teams headed to Santa Clara, California, to face off in Super Bowl 60. But before we do that, make sure you come in, like, comment, subscribe to the channels on YouTube if you have not already done so. Those channels are Kendrick Sports House as well as TFG Sports Media. Make sure you comment. Let me know where you're watching from. Don't be hiding in the bushes. I want your thoughts as well, your reaction to this NFC Championship game as well as the AFC Championship game. But make sure you do that. Make sure you like and subscribe to the YouTube channels again, TFG Sports Media as well as Kendrick Sports Hustle. Make sure you follow them both on Facebook, and you can also follow me on Instagram at Kendrick1969 as well as on TikTok, Kendrick Henderson 51. So again, it just became final just a few minutes ago. The Seattle Seahawks got the win in a shootout that I said it was going to be, and I was almost on point on my final score. I predicted the Seahawks to win this thing 32-28, and they ended up winning it 31-27. The third quarter ended up being a track meet. The second half, they were going back and forth, and it all started with a muff punt by the Rams returner, which the Seahawks would recover. Then Darnold would find Jake Bobo for the 17-yard touchdown pass. That would put them up 24-13 because they led at the half 17-13. But the Rams would strike right back. Stafford would complete a 40-yard pass, a 29-yard pass to Devontae Adams, and then a 2-yard touchdown pass to Adams. They went down the field in 4 plays and 75 yards, and that made this game 24-20. This all went on in the third quarter. Then the Seahawks would score. Sam Darnold, the former Rams, Cooper Kupp. That would make it 31-20. And then and that would pretty much be it for the Seahawks. The Rams would finally get another score, but they just ran out of time. Again, it ended up being 31-27. Was it 27? Yeah, 31-27 with the Seahawks getting the win. Again, I almost hit it. I had predicted on yesterday. If you watched me on TikTok, I gave my predictions yesterday. I said the first game, the AFC Championship game, I picked the Broncos to win that 22-10. They actually won that 10-7, and I predicted the Seahawks to win this one 32-28, and it ended up being 31-27. My good brother Stephen A. Jackson, well, you're right. It was a great game. It was a whole lot better than that first game, entertainment-wise. I think the first, and again, there's no shade at the Patriots or the Broncos, but Mother Nature had a little bit to do with how that game went because the second half became a whiteout, and that kind of changed the way that those guys could go about running their offense, so to speak. But again, this game, I knew both offenses were going to be able to score some points. Just giving you the stats on both these quarterbacks. Sam Darnold, 25 of 36, 346 yards, 3 TDs. That wide receiver they got, that stud who could possibly be the MVP this year, Jackson Smith and Jigba. He had 10 receptions for 153 yards and a touchdown. Cooper Kupp, the former Ram, had 4 receptions for 36 yards and a touchdown. And Jake Bobo 1 reception for 17 yards and a touchdown, but that was only his 5th catch of the year. That is Jake Bobo. So Darnold played excellent. Hell, Stafford did too. 20 for 32, 330 yards, 3 touchdowns. Puka Nacua, 7 receptions, 121 yards, and a TD. And Devontae Adams, he balled out as well, 4 receptions for 89 yards and 1 touchdown. So both these offenses were on their A game. They were kind of, doing what they do, score points. The LA Rams had the number 1 NFL ranked offense in the league, and they were number 1 in scoring, going up against the 6th ranked team in the league, who was also number 1 in the league as far as the Seattle's defense of points given up. So this is the second game in a row that the Seattle defense gave up over 30 points. But again, I knew this game would probably be like that. Yeah, Cooper Kupp was the villain. I don't know if he was the villain. He was part of. I wouldn't call him the villain, Jack. I mean, obviously he probably, he wanted to stick it to his former team. But I mean, at the end of the day, he came up big when he needed to. But it was all about Jackson Smith and Jigba. That young fella, man. Like I say, when you talk about the MVP conversation, obviously Matthew Stafford was in this conversation as well as Drake May for the Patriots. But I think Jackson Smith and Jigba, man, has to be seriously considered the league's MVP. Now, the MVP award. Now, again, it's for what you did in the regular season. It has nothing to do with your playoff resume. But Jackson Smith and Jigba, I believe, led the league in receptions. I think he led the league in receiving yards. And his team won 14 games. And now they headed to Santa Clara, California, Super Bowl 60. We got a rematch. Ladies and gentlemen, my brother Jack, we got a rematch of the Patriots and the Seahawks from, I believe, 2014. That's the game we talked about when they should have ran beast mode inside the 5. Seattle would have had 2 Super Bowls, but they tried to get cute at the end, and Russell Wilson, they call a pass play, and it gets picked off by Malcolm Butler, and that's it. That's a wrap. So, again, we got a rematch between these two teams from 12 years ago. The number 1 seed out of the NFC versus the number 2 seed out of the AFC. And so I don't know. It's going to be an interesting matchup. We got 2 weeks till that happens. That game, the Super Bowl, again, goes down on February 8th. So both these teams can probably get a little bit healthy. And get some guys that may be nicked up. Again, Sam Darnold, he was playing with an oblique injury. You couldn't tell the way he was slinging it around, the way he was running it. But what can you say about Sam Darnold, man? You talking about a guy that's basically resurrected his career. I think a lot of people even forget he was the Jets pick. I believe he was the 1st or the 2nd pick in the draft. And he was in New York in the Jets, and he was getting killed. They gave up on him. And he ended up he found his way to Minnesota last year, and it led that team to 14 games. And the number 1 seed in the NFC, but they eventually got upset in the first round. Then he turned around and leaves Minnesota, signs with the Seattle Seahawks, a pretty good contract, leads this team to 14 wins and the NFC West Division title. And now NFC conference champions. And now they're headed to the Super Bowl under second-year head coach Mike McDonald. So Sam Darnold, man, one of those stories, man. Sometimes these guys have to get to a different place. A change of scenery does a career good. And that definitely happened with Sam Darnold. Again, you got to talk about, some people had given up on the young fella, and he's resurrected his career. Cooper Kupp, you got to talk about him as far as Seattle. He was basically let go by the Rams. All those balls he caught in LA, and now look, he's headed to the Super Bowl with the division rival, the Seattle Seahawks. And what about DeMarcus Lawrence? Former Dallas Cowboy. Him and Michael Parsons had a little tit for tat, a beef over social media. when DeMarcus Lawrence, he signed with the Seattle Seahawks, and he basically said, I would never win. He said he loved Dallas. DeMarcus Lawrence said this, and I'm paraphrasing. He said, I love Dallas, but I'd never win a Super Bowl there. And I didn't think he lied. I didn't see anything wrong with that statement. He told the truth. I'm talking about DeMarcus Lawrence. When Michael Parsons was then a Cowboy, he had an issue with what he said. But the truth hurts sometimes. And I think DeMarcus Lawrence didn't lie. So you got that, that's another part of the story. DeMarcus Lawrence, all those years in Dallas, and he comes to Seattle, man, in his first year. Now he's going to be playing in the Super Bowl in Santa Clara, California. So again, the NFC Championship game, that's a wrap. They win it 31-27. And it was a good game, especially the second half. It was up and down. That third quarter was a track meet. It was going to be who's going to score last. And that's basically what happened. Whichever team scored last in that second half was probably going to win this game. And damn it, that's what happened. Seattle was the last team to score. And that's how this game ended up pretty much. Well, they weren't the last team to score. The Rams actually scored their last touchdown. They just ran out of time. The Rams just ran out of time. And I know my good brother Sean, I know he's feeling some type of way, but you can go ahead, Rams fans, y'all can go ahead and get y'all fishing poles. Y'all know what I'm getting ready to say. Y'all come on, get this fishing pole. I ain't getting no bait. Yeah, y'all got to bring your own bait. BYOFP. Bring your own fishing pole. Come on, join these Packers and the rest of us. Let's get on this yacht. We had docked for today because we know, first of all, it was bad weather, so we knew we couldn't be out on Lake Varnell today. We docked, but next couple of days, it's going to get better. So we didn't dock the boat. Y'all get y'all fishing poles, get your fishing hat, fishing vest, all that good stuff. Pack a lunch. Some bologna sandwiches, some potted meat, or whatever your lunch of choice. And come on, join us on this yacht. We get ready to go to Lake Varnell and catch some of that good old catfish. That catfish is delicious, and we've been catching a few of them since we've been fishing a lot longer. So y'all come on out here with that fishing pole. We gonna catch some more catfish. So again. Jack says on fourth down, Coach McVay should have. Yeah, I thought that too, Jack. I thought they should have took the field goal there. I thought, but that's the going thing now in the NFL. I think if it's 4th and 3 and less than 4th and 3 and less, I think a lot of these times a lot of these teams not going to gamble. They're going to go for it. I thought he should have took the 3 there. Kind of the same sentiment I had in the first game. The Broncos went for it on 4th and 1. They were inside the 10. They didn't get it, and they should have took the 3 there, considering the weather conditions. That game would have been tied up 10-10, and they probably would have pushed it to overtime. I don't know. That's just hypotheticals because we don't know what would have happened after that, even if they would have took the 3. But yeah, I think that anytime you get an opportunity to take the points, I think you take the points. And I thought they should have kicked the field goal there and hope that their defense could get a stop, because I thought the Rams defense they could have got a stop. I mean, they were getting good pressure on Sam Darnold too. Sacked him, I think, 3 or 4 times. So, but that's neither here nor there now. It's a wrap. Rams couldn't finish the job. Seahawks held serve. They ain't have to leave Seattle. They played every game at home, and now they ain't even got to travel far, actually, to the Super Bowl. It's in Santa Clara, California, so it's not going to be too far for them as well. So, again, that's the wrap. NFC Championship is in the books. Salute to the Seattle Seahawks. I had a couple of people in my chat that I know were Seahawks fans, and they said that they were going all the way. So, no lies told there. They made it. So, salute to the Seattle Seahawks on getting the big win at home to move to the Super Bowl 60 and face the New England Patriots, who are looking to become the only team with the most Super Bowls. If they can beat these Seahawks, that'll give them 7 Lombardi trophies. And they will sit atop the king of the mountain, the king of the hill, with the most Super Bowl trophies in NFL history. So they're looking to get their 7th one. Seattle is looking to get their 2nd one. So we're gonna definitely be talking a whole lot more about this in the week to come. Again, Super Bowl 60 is on February the 8th. And I believe does it CBS? Jack, does CBS have the Super Bowl? Or is it Fox? I don't think it's Fox. Is it CBS? I believe CBS got the Super Bowl. Let me know in the chat, Jack, if it's CBS. I think it is CBS that has this year's Super Bowl. If I'm not mistaken, because I think I heard Tom Brady said that he'll be sitting in the stands watching because he'll be back home, and he won't. So that means, and when he said that, as I was listening to the broadcast, I was like, okay, then I think CBS must have this year's Super Bowl. So I'm gonna get out of here, man. We still trying to thaw out down here in Texas. Again, to my Texas peeps, if you don't have to get out, please don't. Please don't get out unless it's an emergency, because these roads are probably going to be even worse now since the sun, we lost daylight. We're going to freeze. Okay, Jack, appreciate that. The sun went down. We didn't have much sunlight, didn't have any, but the temperature is going to drop again. So NBC has the Super Bowl. Okay, thanks, Jack. Appreciate that, brother. Okay. So NBC has it. All right, okay, that's cool. I thought CBS had it, but okay. So again, that's a wrap for your boy tonight, Kendrick the Sports Guy. You can catch me here. Make sure if you haven't subscribed to my YouTube channels, make sure you do that. Doesn't cost you a dime. That's Kendrick Sports Hustle. It's SportzHustle, as well as TFG Sports Media on YouTube. Make sure you like, comment, share this live stream. That helps me a lot. If you share this, that gets more comments. I get in the algorithm and do all that good stuff. So share it. Doesn't cost you a dime. Just click that little share button if you're watching. Even if you watch this later, share this live stream as well. You can also like and follow them both on Facebook. That is TFG Sports Media, as well as Kendrick Sports Hustle. You can also follow me on Instagram at Kendrick1969 and on TikTok at Kendrick Henderson 51. It goes down on TikTok, man. And my live chats be on fire over there. I didn't go live on TikTok on tonight. I normally do them simultaneously, but I decided not to because I was testing out my new laptop that I got, and it has been running perfectly. I got a MacBook, and that, man, yeah, I'm an Apple guy. So all my stuff is Apple, and this, man, I hadn't seen any hiccups, no buffering problems, none of that I used to have with my other little laptop. So I just wanted to test it out tonight to make sure all the bugs are out, and so far, so good. So again, you guys enjoy the rest of your night. Again, be safe if you get out. Please, please, please be safe. Make sure you give enough following distance between you and other vehicles. And but real talk, if you don't have to get out, please don't. It's not even worth it. It's not even worth it. The road conditions going to be a little worse tonight, and they're going to be worse in the morning. I'm not going anywhere. I work overnights. They already canceled our shift, so I'm gonna be sitting right here in my package chair. Probably be trying to find some content to produce to post to my social media platform. So again, I'm Kendrick the Sports Guy, brother Jack, my good brother Stephen A. Jackson. Thanks for watching. Thanks for tuning in. Appreciate the love. And you guys again enjoy the rest of your night. And we will see you on the flip side and on the next live stream. All right. Peace, love, and light. Deuces.